So Jim Ratcliffe has compared Ruben Amorim and Mikel Arteta, saying that the Arsenal manager had a miserable time over the first couple of years at Arsenal. Amorim has now managed 50 games at Manchester United, so we can compare his start to that of Mikel Arteta. Now, the first thing you're going to notice here is that Arteta had a better win rate. Amorim has won 8 fewer games than Arteta did in his first 50. They've scored a similar number of goals here, but it's the goals against which you'll see a major difference. Amorim's team has conceded 28 more goals than Arsenal did, and they've really struggled for clean sheets as well. They've conceded more than twice on 21 occasions, including against Grimsby and Burnley just this season, and they've conceded 3 or more goals on 9 occasions as well. They let in 4 at Newcastle and Brentford at the back end of last season. It's those heavy defeats which are harder to stomach for ex-players and, of course, the supporters as well. So Mikel Arteta built his side from the defence first, and he also showed a degree of flexibility. As you'll know, yes, we are talking about that formation again. Amorim has used a 3 at the back system in every game in charge so far. Arteta, on the other hand, used 6 different formations, including a 3 at the back, in his first 50 games. He went on record to say that ideally he wanted to move towards a 4 at the back setup, but that the players at Arsenal that were currently then at his disposal suited a back 3 or 5, and it allowed his attacking players to be in better areas of the pitch to exploit their skill set. Ruben Amorim has done something slightly different.
Now, if results dip and he has a horrendous couple of months before Christmas, it's always, you've got 3 years, you've got another 2 years.
Yeah, and also picking up on what he said, that was demonstrate that he's a good coach. Like, what do you mean demonstrate? He's had 37 games and to show that so far he isn't. So
you
what's
need 3
going to
years
change?
to demonstrate you're decent?
Well, this is what I'm saying. And because is that because Manchester United as a whole is in a terrible position and in a complete mess? From what we've all seen, and the reason why we continue to speak about Manchester United all the time, yes, they're the biggest club in world football. But like I said before, do we take them out of that category of the top half of the Premier League, the top European places, and speak to them like we do the rest of the bottom half of the Premier League?
Look, Kevin's been in touch there on the screen saying that the fact that his tactics, basically, just to sum up what he's saying, don't work in the Premier League, and he's so stubborn, he's not going to change them. So his 3 more years of stubbornness.
Yeah, but his tactics, because Palace play a certain way, similar style, and that works under that manager.
Same formation. So are we saying it's his tactics and the way he's getting his team to play that doesn't work, or are we saying it's the players? And either way, the buck always falls down at the manager's door, and that's where it's at. And Charlie, I guess also there are examples of managers coming in and making an impact much quicker than Ruben Amorim has. Different clubs, different strategies. But when Jurgen Klopp took over from Brendan Rodgers, and I know they were the slip season, they were close, weren't they? But he very, very quickly turned them into a winning machine. It's a year in November since that Ipswich game at Portman Road where Marcus Rashford scored. That's nearly a year.
But what do you see? Is there any light? Is there any spark that you see at Manchester United that this is turning? They haven't won 2 games back to back, let alone winning 5. We got a Man United fan that's got hair out here because he said they was going to try and win 5 games in a row. They haven't won 2 games in a row. So where do we go for? And even to the people that are saying, we've got to give him time, we don't chop and change. It's Man United. Like I just said, are we the biggest club in the world? So do we just go on about that? We take them out of that category now. Yeah, the biggest globally, but in the Premier League, they are no longer.
But playing devil's advocate, Sunderland, and I was there, and it was if you had not been on the planet for the last year and you just turned up to Old Trafford on Saturday afternoon, you wouldn't have had a clue that there were these deep-rooted issues at Old Trafford at Manchester United. The fans were on board. Right, could have been a different story, shoulda, woulda, coulda club if Bertrand Traoré scored a sitter early on, but he didn't, and they won 2-0 and they controlled the game. And Ruben Amorim had a smile and he walked down the tunnel and it was sort of normal service resumed.
Just won 2-0 at home, Will. Of course he's got to have a smile and walk down the tunnel. They've won at Old Trafford. The whole 70,000 at Old Trafford have to get behind the team, because if they don't get behind the team and turn on them even more, disaster's going to even happen even more. They can continue to lose games and slip down the Premier League table. That's the situation, unfortunately, Manchester United find themselves. So regardless how you look at it and you talk about and think about what Sir Alex Ferguson done and this, that and the other, Manchester United are in a terrible situation. Ruben Amorim are not taking them forward, and if Sir Jim Ratcliffe gives him a 3-year contract, then, well, it'll be interesting to see what position we'll be in. For the next 2 years going forward, we will continue to talk about Manchester United not being able to achieve what they set out to do in 150
Top sides, they have seasons. Sometimes you have good players coming from the academy. That means that you are performing at a very good level, or sometimes you are right with the signings, or you are right with the coach, and then there are different things that, depending on that, you have one bad season or two or three or whatever. In this case, Liverpool is consistent in terms of the way that they are doing things. They were good enough selling players since my time with Torres and after Coutinho, Luis Suarez, so they were making some money and they were quite successful in the signings. Manchester United, they're spending some money. The players, they didn't have maybe the adaptation to the top side that is Manchester United. So that is the difference. But still, I think they will come back because they are good enough and they have a massive support.